Okay, so this one is clearly a pyramid. And in fact, what we call it is we call it a rectangular pyramid. Why? Because the ground floor, notice, is a rectangle. Let me fill that in. Boom, 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 boom. See how that's a rectangle? This ground floor, the base, is a rectangle. So we call that a rectangular pyramid. You name it by the base, kind of like we did for prisms. This is a rectangular pyramid. Well, let's go to our formulas. They're all, so on the exam 3 notes, I printed out a bunch of formulas for you. And here they are. So for pyramid, the volume is 1/3 s squared h. Now, it's the best, most clearest picture I could find, but let me adjust this just to make it easier for you. I think it'll be easier for you if you call this length and width, and you write this volume formula as 1/3 length times width times height. That'll be easier. They had an example where the base was a square, so they just called it s squared, but they're not always squares down there. So I'm going to call it 1/3 length times width times height. So I think it would benefit you to add that formula for volume on your notes. And I'm going to try to change it myself too if I can later. So there's what we want to use: 1/3 length times width, which is the ground floor, times the height. You'll notice that shapes that come to a point always have a 1/3 in them. All right, for volume. Well, let's go back up here and do that. Okay, so the volume is going to be 1/3 length times width times height. So it's going to be 1/3. So this is length, width, and the height is right here, 8.6. So it's 1/3 times 6 times 7 times, in my case, 8.6. So hit the buttons on your calculator. So that on the calculator, that would be 1 divided by 3 times 6 times 7 times 8.6, right? Like that for that 1/3. So I'm hitting the buttons right now. I'm getting 120.4. They've already got the units for us. Cubic feet. So there we go. So notice the height comes straight down to the ground. That's the height, isn't it? Height always goes straight down to the ground. So that's the height. There we go.